Hey everyone, this is Shraddha. Welcome back. I hope you all are doing great. I have a great news to share with you people. I had the honor of talking to the sensational, lovely, phenomenal, and amusing author S. Breaker. It was so much fun talking to her, and I'm so excited to share this chat with you. Like, so excited because she's so cool and so much fun. I do not wish to keep you any longer. Please continue watching. Please welcome the sensational author S. Breaker.
I'm not sure it's sensational, but okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Sara. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you for having me. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So I've got a bunch of questions for you. Would you please answer them for me?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, my first question. What has influenced you the most as a writer?
Okay, so most of my influence comes from the books that I've read because as you also do, you read a lot, I read a lot. And a lot of the books that I read are quite dark and very, very verbose. Like I get I get eye fatigue really quickly. So if I read a very long paragraph, I kind of I kind of get tired out really quickly. So I thought, oh, I would like to read books that are easier to read and that are fast paced. So most of my stories are fast paced and the action's all up front. And that makes it easier for me to read. It's like, so the, you already get the sense of what's going on right from the beginning. Also, a lot of the books, like right now, they're trending a very dark fantasy, and I really like happy endings. And I really like that even if, you can have a happy ending, even if you've got conflict and action and intrigue in your stories, but at the end, you know that everything's going to be okay. And I've read a lot of books that don't make me feel like that. So I thought, oh, maybe I should some books like that. And that's most of what has influenced me as a writer.
Right. I gotta ask you, like, I love happy endings a lot. I always want happy endings, but sometimes
Same.
I think sad endings can be so haunting, but I still read them. Like, I like to torment myself a lot. But
I know, I read that, yeah.
I read We Were Liars, and that book still haunts me sometimes because, have you read it? Before I say anything.
No, I haven't. No, it's all right. You can say.
Oh no, I want you to read it in the future, so I won't say. Sorry.
That's okay, because I've read like several books that are super, super haunting. And at the end, I mean, even the first book, the first Avatar book, it hurt me so much. Like I couldn't even sleep properly. It affects me too much, I think. So maybe I like happy endings more.
My next question. Do you like audiobooks, physical books, or ebooks better, and why?
Oh, I really like physical books because, you can touch it and I can kind of gauge how far along I am into the book by just looking. But it's so much more convenient and cheaper to get ebooks now. And I've got so many ebooks on my phone and they're always on my phone. And whenever I need to read them, it's so easy to access. So I'm kind of leaning towards ebooks now. I mean, I can also paperbacks are a much more expensive option and there's not enough space in my bookshelf for all the paperbacks that I want to have. And my phone can, hold like thousands of books. It's so much easier.
Yes. What behind the scenes tidbit in your life would probably surprise your readers the most?
Oh, I'm not sure if it's still a surprise, but a lot of readers are not aware that I write in multiple genres. So, I mean, you maybe already know, but aside from sci-fi and fantasy, I also write contemporary rom-coms and YA, clean and wholesome romance, and a lot of romance books. So it's not just sci-fi and fantasy. And I also do like new adult and young adult. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. I really like storytelling and it's not constrained into one genre. But because of my initial books being all romance, all of my books now have, I really have to have some kind of romance, even if it's speculative.
That I actually kind of love like romance in my novels, so
Yeah.
totally do that.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the funniest typo you have ever written?
Oh my goodness, so many. There's just so many typos. I couldn't remember like the funniest one, but I did have a think about this, and I recall that when I was doing dictation once, and one word was transcribed as blunt, like BLUNT, instead of blonde, like blonde the hair, and it
Oh
made
my.
it sound like it made it sound like my characters were doing drugs, and I think it was no, it was YA clean romance, so they definitely weren't doing drugs. I was super wrong.
Oh my gosh. All right. What are your favorite novels?
Oh goodness, there's so many. I think all time it's I'm on a sci-fi and fantasy interview, but my favorite is Pride and Prejudice because it's super classic, and the tropes are so enemies to lovers. Enemies to lovers, my favorite of all time, forever and ever. So
Oh my God, Sarah,
that's
I
like,
love it. I love Enemies to Lovers and I love Pride and Prejudice.
I know that's like my favorite. Like I've watched. I mean, most of the movies that have come out, that's my favorite book forever. Even the original book of it that I've read, it's so hard to read. It's in classic English, but
Yeah,
it's still really good. It was still really good.
I love it.
But yeah, but aside from that, I have also, for sci-fi and fantasy. Do you know Claudia Gray? She
Actually,
wrote she wrote a sci-fi fantasy series about parallel worlds again and multiverses. That was my main inspiration for a lot of my books. It's called A Thousand Pieces of You. It's a series as well. So
I have heard
that's
about the
like my
book
second one. Yeah. It's
and
really good. That was a book where after I finished, I'm like, I hate this book. It's so good. Because like I
uh,
couldn't let go. I was like, I wanted to be in there. I wanted to read more. I wanted to read it forever. And that was that was a really good book.
right. It was one of those books that you wish you could read it for the first time, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I wish I could read it for the first time. I wish I'd written it. Kind of, it was so good. Anyway, so that's like my inspiration. That's always what I want to be like, to have that kind of epic, multiverse fantasy thing. It's awesome.
Right. What genre do you dislike the most, and what genre do you like the most?
Okay. I really, really don't like horror.
Right.
My imagination is just super vivid. I did try to write like a suspense horror story at some point, and I couldn't sleep. Like I had nightmares, and I scared myself too much. I don't like horror. So
Oh my
that one
God.
is I'm not gonna watch or read or anything like that. I scare myself too easy.
My God, me too. Like I watched Nun once, and I think it's the least
Oh
horror.
gosh.
Yeah, and
Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
watching in the afternoon. I'm not scared, and then I go into the
Yeah.
washroom, see water, and I'm creeped out. I'm like, I'm not watching horror again.
No, after I watched The Ring, that was where everything turned for me. Somebody made me watch The Ring in the movie theater. And then after that, I stopped watching any kind of horror. I was like years and years ago, but that was a turning point for me.
And the first horror movie I watched was like a Hindi one. It was Bollywood movie 1920. So basically, it was this woman who moved to a different place, and a spirit lives there, and the spirit enters her. So she walks on walls, she speaks
Oh,
funny, and all
oh my
that.
God.
And I
That's,
was kind of, I don't like, I watched it and I was creeped out so much, I stopped watching horror altogether. Yeah.
that's crazy. I mean, even the recent one that maybe the closest to horror I watch nowadays is Witcher. Because Witcher is actually, for the horror genre, it's monsters and people and blood and gore and stuff. But because Henry Cavill is on it, I have to watch it. but the last season they had that girl that was creeping on the window, the Broxa. Oh my goodness, I could not look at her face. It was giving me nightmares. But it was so well done, you know.
Yeah. I can read horror though. I can read horror novels, but I just can't watch
Oh
them.
wow. Oh
Wow.
wow, okay. I think both. My imagination is just too wild.
Yeah.
I can't even think of it. If I'm in a room by myself, I think of all kinds of things. So it's not a good thing to put ideas in my head that are horror.
Okay. And what is your favorite genre?
Oh, my favorite genre is young adult sci-fi. That was the first series that I completed was young adult sci-fi. But it seems
Right.
to be, what is it? It seems to be, it's not very popular genre. There's not very many people who write or like that genre for some reason.
Hmm. Yeah. But surprisingly, most of my friends who don't even read, they're more willing to read a sci-fi novel than a fantasy one. I mean, and I'm
Oh,
so
that's
surprised.
interesting.
Yeah, and they don't even read, so I don't know on what basis do they say that, but they keep on telling me that, if I ever get into reading, it will be because of sci-fi. Probably
I
because
mean,
because
sci-fi is so
science.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
sci-fi is super cool. I mean, you get to think of all the kinds of technology they could have and all kinds of, again, me with the parallel dimensions. I love multiverses. I can't wait to watch Multiverse of Madness. All that stuff that's my jam. But we did
Uh-huh.
a poll once and we asked them, do you want to read sci-fi more or fantasy more? The result was crazy. Like fantasy was, 98% and like 2% sci-fi. Like, oh, that's interesting. Okay.
But I like sci-fi, but I too personally read fantasy more. And not because of
Mm.
a particular reason, but it just happens with me. These days
Oh
I'm just
yeah.
reading contemporary though.
I'm reading what? Sorry.
Contemporary, like present day
Oh,
novels.
yeah. Contemporary. Yeah. I mean, I read I read most books. I read most genres except horror.
Yeah. If you have to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh, okay. This was really difficult. I think first one is definitely imaginative because seriously, my imagination is just all over the place. If you get me started, horror specifically, I will just hide it under my blanket. I'll never get out because I'll be thinking of too many scary things. But also, it helps me because I'm an author, so I can imagine all kinds of worlds and all kinds of different situations for people, not just sci-fi and fantasy, even contemporary. So I can imagine me walking down to the pharmacy and seeing a cute guy because that happens. Okay, and then the second one is, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm an introvert.
Oh,
So
well, right now it doesn't seem like that. You're so easygoing.
I'm good with like one to one is fine, but in a crowd, that's usually I'm like, oh, just rather sit here with my book. That's where it comes from. I'll just sit here in the corner with my book.
I so agree with that. In crowds, it gets most weird because then I'm most of the times I'm confused. Who do I talk to? Like, there's so
Yeah.
many people. That's the person who do I not talk to? Would they be offended? So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, at parties, I'm often like, even either with a book or near the buffet table because that's my favorite place to be.
Saying literally the same.
Yeah. And I guess the third is I don't know, my sense of humor is kind of weird. So maybe
It's
weird
wonderful. It's so wonderful.
because I don't know why, but there's certain sense of humor that the British have that are different from America. Have you noticed? Like they're quite dry and deadpan. Like I was just watching Adam's Family again, and it says, "Oh yeah, this is my sense of humor. It's kind of really weird and deadpan humor. That's me."
I really can't tell, but it's really cool because this is one of the interviews in which I've laughed a lot. So I won't be
Oh,
that. Yeah. I'll,
well,
you
you're really easy to talk to. It's good.
Oh, and I so agree with the imaginative part because Escape was so unique and so
That was
unexpected. Because
that
I
was your
really was
brainchild.
when I actually read it, I
Yeah.
didn't exactly read the blab. I just got into it, so it was
Oh,
even more surprising for me that oh my god, what is happening? And that just made it more interesting and fun for me.
that's awesome. I usually put the blurb in the front because people don't know what to expect. And
I,
sometimes when you
yeah,
don't know what to expect, you tend to not
yeah.
enjoy it maybe. But I'm glad that happened for you, that it was a surprise, that it was a good surprise.
I actually, in most of the cases, I sometimes skip the bluff. So, to keep the element of surprise there. I usually do it in novellas because they're
Oh
already
yeah.
short. In
Yeah,
novels,
pretty
I
much.
can't do that because I need an
Yeah.
idea of what I'm getting into.
That's true. I do that too. I also like avoid the reviews because the reviews sometimes say, "Oh, this is what happens in the book," and I don't want to
Exactly.
know yet.
Yeah, and some people are so mean they won't even mark it as, spoiler.
Spoiler alert. Exactly. You
Yeah,
should
they
put that
don't put
on.
it there. And sometimes you just read the whole thing and it spoils it all for you.
Exactly. So yeah. So
I
warning.
don't, yeah. So now we come on to this round. It's called this and that. I'm going to give you two
Okay.
alternatives and you
Hmm.
choose the one that you prefer.
Oh, great.
My first question, tea or coffee?
Definitely coffee. I mean, I tried chocolate tea and that was awesome. It was super close to coffee. If I was gonna not have coffee ever, I would choose chocolate tea. But if there was no chocolate tea, definitely coffee.
Right. Paranormal fantasy or a sci-fi?
Definitely sci-fi.
See the future or change the past?
Definitely see the future. I'm such a, I'm so scared of changing the past. I don't know why. I just am. I just scared of changing the past. I like how it is right now.
Time machine or a magic wand?
Magic wand. Cause I don't want to clean my house.
Oh, me too. Like, I hate cleaning. You still have to do
Yeah.
it. It sucks. English or math?
Oh, English. I'm so bad at math. I can't, I need a calculator for everything now. It's crazy.
Science or history?
Science, definitely. I love science. People are so surprised. I don't know why. One of my friends read the blurb of my book and she says, that's so nerdy because I just love science.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. Has anybody ever chosen vanilla?
No, but Nicole actually did choose chocolate plus vanilla, so I think that's the most unique answer by far.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. You could mix it
Yeah.
together.
Dragons or unicorns?
Definitely dragons. The next book I'm writing is about, I mean, a lot of my books have dragons in it. I love dragons.
You know, I personally prefer dragons as well because they seem so cool. I mean, unicorns are
Yeah.
pretty, but dragons are cool.
Yeah, I kind of had to think about this as well because unicorns are super cool and they're very unique and mystical, but I like dragons because you shoot fire and you can, you can fly. That's awesome.
Yes. Winter or summer?
Okay. I really didn't know what to say with this because winter is too cold and summer is too hot. So, so I was thinking I like summer when it was 20 years ago and it wasn't this hot during summer because I remember a time when it was summer and it was comfortable. But now when it's summer, it's like 40 degrees. It's too hot inside the house and it's not like when it's winter, you can put on more layers. When it's summer, you can't take off all the layers.
Yeah, it's summer here as well, and it's so hot. Like, it's just 3:50 and it's burning, and I don't really want to step out.
Exactly. It's very exhausting. The heat, like you
Yeah,
don't really want to do anything, just want to sit down and not do anything.
literally. And in the
So
winter,
so
I feel so lazy because of all those layers. I'm always like, oh, let's leave. So yeah, I will. But I
I think
kind of
I would like to sleep regardless.
I kind of prefer winters though because when the sun comes out, it's pleasant. So yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of
that's right. Actually, I chose winter first, and then I thought, oh, do I like winter or summer or winter or summer? But yeah, I think I agree with you. Winter is nicer. It's more pretty. I mean, we don't get snow, but everybody else's snow looks so nice.
oh well, there's no snow here either because I live in the plains.
Yeah,
But the
I live
best
near
part is that
the water, so
yeah, the best part though, the ice cream does
yeah.
not melt easily.
No,
That's the
I
best
know it's
part.
amazing. There was this one time we went to a party and they left the ice by the window because that's that's where you leave the ice cream when it's winter, by the window. Not the fridge, the ice cream in the window, sure.
My last question: puppies or kittens?
Okay, I really love kittens, but I kind of don't like when they grow up into cats. But I love puppies and I still like dogs, so it's gotta be puppies.
Right. But I have a dog, and I've always have a dog, so I never actually had a
Oh,
kitten. So I've
awesome.
always I always have a thing for puppies.
Yeah, kittens are so cute. I mean, they're fluffy, but then when they grow up, they're not as fluffy. I really prefer puppies.
Well, to be honest, I used to be so scared of dogs.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, the same, same.
I'm
And then
so
when we got a dog, I stopped being scared. It was awesome.
literally the same when my dog, his name is Oreo. He came and I'm like,
Oh,
he's
cute.
so sweet, and he's like
Yeah.
always begging for love and everything. So yeah,
And he's
the
so happy to see you. He'll like sit on your lap and let you stroke him. It's so nice. So nice.
well, he's an American bully, so he can't exactly sit on my lap, but he does keep his keeps his face on our laps because he likes to do that, like lift his face off the ground. So yeah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for your time. It's meant so much to me to have you here. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She's so cool, isn't she? It was so much fun talking to her, and I really hope you enjoyed this interview as much as I did, because I totally had heaps and heaps of fun. Wow, I cannot stop saying that. Heaps and heaps of fun. I'm sorry. Sometimes I said before, I'm saying it again. I sound repetitive, but that's just because like you're feeling too much things and you just can't pinpoint one emotion or feeling, and then I end up being repetitive. I'm sorry. But end of the story is that I really enjoyed talking to her, and I want to thank Sara for giving me this honor. Thank you so much, Sara. And thank you guys for watching this video up till the very end and for being here. It was like, I'm so honored to have an audience like you. And if you enjoyed this video, then do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, please stay tuned.